Coffee with Carrie, I want to talk about nonprofit outreach using video chat. There's lots of different nonprofits that highly benefit from video chat communication and being able to increase the frequency of the outreach. I want to talk a few minutes about. I used to be involved in the Big Brothers Big Sisters program. I was a big and had a great little. I've had multiple littles over the years, but it's a pretty lengthy process to get approved as a volunteer and as a big, and most bigs within Big Brothers and Big Sisters are business owners or professionals that have a day job, and there's a small window of time that you can meet with your little on weekends and at nights, and everybody lives a very busy life, and you're supposed to meet with your little once a month. And once a month typically turns into, once every other month. Sometimes if you're traveling, that extends. And so let's think about for a minute, if I was able to talk to my little once a week through video chat technology. So maybe every Wednesday night at 6 o'clock, we connect for 10 minutes right off the Big Brother Big Sister website using this secured video chat tool. And now I can have this face-to-face conversation with my little. I can talk about their work week, or excuse me, my work week. I can talk about their school week, what's going on. I can really identify with them and the case manager if something's going awry. So maybe my little's been bullied this week at school, or they have problems at home with mom and dad. And instead of waiting 4 6 weeks later to hear about it, I can hear about it and really impact their life immediately. Maybe if I find out something, I can, turn their week around and give them some advice and really mentor them versus waiting for when, my busy life and their busy life coincides for us to get together in person. This also really makes the life of the case manager a lot easier in the fact of at the end of this video chat, if I was to able to fill out a survey to say, if they were having a good week, if I saw any problems, I could put my notes in and that could go to the case manager. They could really focus their time then on the kids that really need reaching out to that week. They could even talk to the school, their guidance counselor, or whatever it may be. And with everything going on in this country with children and so forth, we need to be more proactively engaging and having meaningful, bringing back that human interaction from that standpoint. The second thing I want to talk about is churches. So regardless of, your religion and the church that you go to or don't go to, and the guidance that you get, the average person only goes to church 1.8 times per month. And that's an engaged person. Again, we live busy lives, trying to go every Sunday to church or Saturday to church, depending upon from that standpoint. But what if you could talk to your preacher, your pastor, your rabbi, whoever it may be, talk to them and reach out, and maybe it's just 5 minutes, maybe it's 10 minutes, maybe you have something going on in your life that you want to do a video prayer request. Maybe you have something going on in your life with a family member that's ill, and you just need somebody to reach out to and talk to, and you can't make it. Rather than the pastor or preacher, going around town and visiting hospitals and going and meeting with people, that's a lot of travel time, and that depending upon how big the church is, that pastor may only be able to get to 7, 8, 10 people per week. But if they could stay in one location and reach more people, and if you could take 5 minutes out of your workday to have that conversation, to ease the anxiety, or to really talk to somebody. Maybe you need marriage counseling. Maybe you're getting married, and you can't go to classes every week. Being able to do that through video in this day and age, we're all digital. We're all in front of phones and computers all day long, and to be able to reach and impact more people's lives faster, and increase that engagement, not only increases the interactions, but it increases and touches people's lives. And a phone call is one thing, but being able to see the person on the other end is more meaningful. The third thing I want to talk about is bullying and suicide. So there's a lot of organizations out there, especially for our youth, that you can call. If a kid is contemplating suicide by people at school, whatever it may be. Um, and if you look at that demographic, calling a 1-800 number is, not first nature nor something that, a 12-year-old kid wants to do. But what if they could click a button on your website? What if they, were really contemplating harming themselves, or they were in a really bad situation at school and they just needed some advice because they don't want to tell mom and dad? This demographic, the Gen Zs that we're talking about, and even in millennials, they're face-to-face people. Instead of calling their friends, they're FaceTiming their friends. They're constantly doing video interactions. So what if they could put a face behind the person that's really helping them? So instead of calling a 1-800 number into a hotline or a call center or whatever it may be, what if they could hit a button and there you were videoing with them, and you're seeing the person on the other end of the line. They're seeing you. There's an accountability factor when you're videoing with somebody, and you're able to give so much better advice, and you're really able to see that person. You're able to see their mannerisms. You're able to see really quickly, does this need to be escalated? Do you really think that they're going to commit suicide? And if so, how do you immediately talk them into getting some help and getting into the right networks of people? And can you change their life? Um, a, the ability to have teens talk to teens, the ability to have a kid that's, what bullied and how they came out of it and how life is better. Being able to do that like we are right now, and to see each other, is so much more meaningful and impactful than a phone call. So that's for today's Coffee with Carrie on nonprofit and engagement. It can change lives, so how will it change yours?